Oh, see, there was a place for said intro video. Okay, we're live. Yay.
It's starting at 43 minutes now.
Oh, well, there's no rhyme or reason to it. So, good morning, humanity. Salute. Salute to our Mexican friends. Salute to our friends all around the world. Actually, salute. Oh, excuse me.
How's my hair? Is it okay?
Well, it's a little... I prefer when it's back, but that's okay. It's not my hair.
You're right.
I have my outdoor, like, poncho on here. What's this called again? What's the word?
I don't know.
There's a proper word for it.
Shawl?
Shawl, poncho, I don't know. I got a compliment on it the other day when we were in town.
Yeah. The amount of compliments she gets just on that silly thing.
I know, and I got it at Sally Ann's, like it's Salvation Army at the thrift store.
South American-ish with
Well,
llamas
it's
and
Peruvian, I think. Yeah, I think it's Peruvian. It's so nice. I love it. It's so warm. I love it. I love these finds at the thrift store. I'm definitely a thrift store fiend. There's no question about that.
For sure.
Yeah. Looking at prices of new stuff, I just go, I don't know about that.
At least the used stuff's been tested.
True.
The new stuff hasn't. It could disintegrate on you.
This is true. This is very true. Hi, guys. So for whoever's online so far watching, we appreciate you being here, just so you know. And please comment, because we love seeing comments come up and questions or whatever you might have. But we're a little annoyed, I think, this morning. Yeah. We're a little annoyed, a little pissed off. And I guess we feel like we want to talk about this a little bit. Please let us know, by the way, those of you who are on, if our sound is good, because we did not check our sound before we popped on. I just realized. And, we want to make sure that it's appropriate.
It's fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Anyway, so how would we like to begin on this topic, Kevin?
Has anyone that's here or going to listen to this ever felt in their life they've just, no matter where they go, no matter what they try and do, oh, I'm going there. You're fucking right, I'm going there. No, but think about it.
Here we go.
Like, think about it. Has anyone ever been in life, shall I say, and felt nothing but rejected? No matter where you go, what you do, what you try and do to please other people.
I don't know if it's about pleasing other people.
No, but I want you to think about this, right? Because everyone has their perception.
Yeah.
Right? Of the way things should be. Everyone has their perception of the way they did it, and it might have worked for them. Therefore, it must work for other people. I mean, we experienced this at the meeting the other day too.
Yeah.
People have a certain perception of the way things are.
It's not just are, but have to be. It's like this.
Have to
it's like
be.
It has to be this way. Like there's no other way.
That's right.
Like, it's just my way or the highway.
So who here has ever felt rejected?
Welcome to my world.
Very well, two of us for sure. But I mean rejected, and
flat out rejected.
and it's just, I mean, this ties into also to, the fact that we're dealing with the seizure condition.
Yeah.
Right, which most people that are listening to this should know by now. But if you're new, right? Yeah. Ava started experiencing seizures
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
And this is going somewhere. Trust us. There is a purpose method to our madness here.
Right. But it comes down to.
We're being microwaved.
Well, that's part of it, for sure. without question.
It's definitely had a major influence.
Knowing what
on
you were
people's
doing when
brains.
that started,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
But this all ties together. The microwaving thing and whatever, it all ties together.
The rejection.
Right? The
perceptions.
rejection, the perceptions.
Yeah.
Right?
I know it's hard to believe, but it is connected.
It's
believe
friggin'
it or not.
amazing
Yeah,
how
it's crazy. It's crazy.
how interlinked it all is.
Oh my God. And we watched one amazing interview last night that
So people here, I'm going to
people
recommend
need to see it.
You need to set aside 4 hours.
Or
Okay?
break it up in chunks if you have to.
No,
That's okay.
set the 4 hours
Oh
aside
my God.
and
I
watch.
wonder-
We'll put the link.
I wish I had the link. I don't have
I've
it
got the
ready
link
to go.
somewhere.
Do you? Yeah. Oh, maybe.
We'll put the link
Just give
in
me a second here.
our channels. And you got to go to YouTube there.
I know.
There you
There
go.
it is. There it is. There's the link right there. Just give me a second and I'm going to grab that link. I grab it. You got to help me, Kevin, because I'm having a hard time seeing stuff this morning. Where did it go?
Far right.
Okay. There we go.
We're going to put the link to this interview. Now,
On
this guy
YouTube.
has waited 30 years
Yeah.
to come out with all the information that he has. And he's a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
there we go. Okay.
Oh, I see. It goes and posts on all the places that
So he's a neurosurgeon.
cool.
And
I've seen
probably
him before.
time we should listen to people like this.
It's probably is time.
It's probably time, folks.
It's probably time. Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's heavy and stuff. Some stuff was bleeped out because of the platform that this interview's on.
Yeah, because the guy doing the interview, they had to bleep stuff out because they knew YouTube would definitely shut him down. Definitely shut him down.
What the hell's going on there?
Yeah. Right.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of the information that he had there sort of led us into, and it certainly led Ava into her book reading frenzy there last night.
I've looked at that book so many times, it isn't even funny.
Right.
Well,
but are we being microwaved?
So I might as well share it because this is a very old book. I don't know. Oh, damn, this is doing the opposite.
It's fine.
It's called The Body Electric, you guys. This is a heavy read by Dr. Robert O. Becker. Okay. And Gary Selden. Not sure who Gary is as much.
I think we talked about Becker.
But Robert Becker is like, he's the real deal. That's a book from the 80s. This book is. It was published in 85, which means it was written years before that. But anyway, highly recommend it if you're interested in understanding electrification and how it impacts human, or not just human, but biology, period. But it's extremely interesting. I've had this book for so damn
maximum
many years.
Safe allowable dose of EMF exposure is 0.001 or 0.01 or 0.0001.
Very, 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 very low.
It's pretty low.
It's very low.
And guess what the standards are now in Canada and the US?
Yeah.
Take a wild friggin' guess, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Between 600 and 1,000.
You heard that right, okay? Between 600 and 1,000 is the allowable standard, okay? And what's actually safe for biology on this planet with regards to the exact same thing, which is the EMF exposure or electrocution or whatever the hell you want to call it. Microwaving basically is 0.0, I believe it's 0.001. I think it's 2 zeros. But
bottom line, it's below the decimal point.
Yeah.
Right? That's all that matters here.
Yeah.
It's below the decimal point, and the allowable limit is 600 to 1,000 above.
And the important piece to all this, when we bring up Robert Becker, which is very interesting because in the interview last night, the man being interviewed, Dr. Jack Cruz, the neurosurgeon, knew Robert Becker personally, who's now passed, but is that
it's all there. Like
he was telling them this not just in the 80s, even in the 70s, in the 60s. He was telling, he was exposing the dangers, and they didn't want to hear it because it just interfered too much with what they wanted to do to us. Yeah, what they wanted to put out onto the planet. They didn't want to hear it. So this is really important information, you guys. I really appreciated Dr. Jack Cruz putting himself out there the way that he did in that interview we listened to, which we have put in there in the comments. You guys, you
Take the time.
Take the time. Do not be distracted by your phones while you're watching it, because
It's pretty heavy stuff.
It's
man.
heavy.
Even for us, like, so because we've been bouncing around this tinfoil hat stuff for a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean, this stuff we've known.
And you know what?
We've known.
There's credence to the tinfoil hat. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh man, it's just.
It's not about the metaphor that it provides. It's the protection that the aluminum foil provides your head.
It's true. All right, it is true. And it's just so frustrating, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh my God, like, we can't win. It doesn't matter what we do.
But the system's not designed for us to win, right? No, this is what we have to realize.
It's really not.
Right? They're doing everything, and they have been doing everything for years and decades, and probably a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
Right? To make existence here on this planet as absolutely challenging as possible for people.
Yes.
And those that are up to the challenge or are able to work through the challenge, right? Then fine. But they've been into, and trust me, he talks about the programs that have been out there.
Yeah.
He talks about all of that stuff because he's been in it.
Yeah, he has.
Right.
And he's done his research, and he's
fact checked the shit out of everything.
Yeah. I would say, as far as quality of content and knowledge, he's bang on. He would be like right up there to me with Dr. David Martin, you know, where it's like, challenge him. I dare you to challenge him on his information, because he knows his facts. And the interesting thing is you should go to his website too, because he does have all this information available for free. It's all there. If you go into his website, which is drjackcruz.com, and go into forums. KRUSE, yeah. And go into forums where everything is laid out. He said it would take you like how many years?
10 years to go.
15 years, something like that, to go through all the information, but it's there, right? So he has held back for a very long time, actually, knowing this information for decades now. He's held back a lot, and it wasn't just to preserve his career as a neurosurgeon. It was preserve his life. But
anyway, now's the time.
Oh yeah.
Now's the time. And there was another very, very, very important message that he had in there. And that was, we need to come together.
Yes.
Right? The people need to come together.
Humanity.
And take back our cities, our provinces or states or countries, or just take this fucking planet back.
Yeah.
Because
from these evil,
we're the ones that need to come up with the solutions to restore things or reverse things, right? We need to put an end to things. And there's, everything ties together. Everything. Aerial spraying. The reason they're trying to do that is they want to try and reduce the amount of sunlight we get, because we
absolutely need it.
We need the wavelengths of sunlight, and we've known this.
Yeah, this is new information,
right? And it's just great. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even insofar as
he does neurosurgery and blasts the brain with UV light,
red light. Yeah. Like, he's definitely been out of the box for a very, very long time. But the thing is, believe it or not, this all even wraps into events in history, like JFK's murder,
all kinds of stuff,
all that stuff. And he has connected all the dots. I love that. That's what I love about David Icke. David does that too. He'll put
but this is, I will say that this is next level. Because he was intimate with
some of these people.
Some of these people is like, what?
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So worth watching, you guys. If you want your mind blown, like, seriously,
go for it.
Whew. There's even a couple places where they had to completely bleep out the entire part of it, because they had to take out a whole part of the interview.
The subject matter was
was way too much for YouTube. And so the guy doing the interview, this Danny guy, I've never seen him do interviews before, actually. And I guess the reason would be is because he's on Patreon, right? So he does have a Patreon account. So in order to be
I
able to
guarantee
see
he
it,
wasn't sleeping for 2 days after that interview.
yeah, no. So Marianne has said something. Absolutely. Sun is so important for us. Just don't put on sunscreen because it has cancer causing carcinogens. Exactly.
Yep.
I knew that stuff, Marianne, I knew it 25
Coconut oil.
years ago. I was not putting sunscreen on my kids. People thought I was crazy back then when they were little and I wasn't putting sunscreen on. And I'm like, no, it's the sunscreen that's more dangerous for us than the sun. Like we have to stop. It's
Sunblock 6000.
yeah, like I grew up around the pool in the summertime. I was a lifeguard. I was a competitive outdoor competitive swimmer in the summertime. And I guarantee that it wasn't the sun that was burning us. It was the chemicals from the chlorine and everything in the pool that we were swimming in and all the sunblock that we were always putting on, and we still would get burned, right? And so it's just like when
Didn't our friend Wade,
when you know better, you do better, right? But yeah, there's no question that we every which way they're trying to tell us to block the sun, we need to do the opposite.
So rule of thumb,
Yeah.
whatever they say to do,
Yeah.
you do the other way. You do the opposite.
Yeah.
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 That's the rule of thumb here now going into this
Yeah.
new earth and the new world, is that whatever they say to do,
Yeah.
you run the other way.
Run the other way.
Right? Or do the exact opposite.
Totally.
If they say put a mask on,
That's right.
you don't. If
That's
they
right.
say do this, you don't.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually pretty simple.
It is really.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we've got, I mean, Jack was all over the blue light. He actually wore red tinted glasses
Yeah.
in order to block the blue light
Yeah.
going into the eye. So everything that you have in front of you,
Including our computer right now,
any LED light,
yeah,
is blue light.
Yeah. That's right, Marianne. They did. They lied saying sun causes cancer. It's so damn true. Because they were hiding the fact that the shit they were doing to and are doing to us is what's really causing illness. And this is what he talked about last night. He went really deep, you guys, into the SV40.
SV40.
Oh my God. Which they
look
it up because they knew that SV40, they knew decades and decades ago that was causing cancer in people. I think it was in the 50s or 60s.
And guess who started the cancer epidemic?
Yeah.
Guess who started that?
Who was that again?
Knowingly started it.
Yeah.
All right. It was the CIA pushing the polio vaccine.
Yeah. Where they put SV40 inside the polio vaccine.
Early 50s.
Was it the early 50s?
It was before the 53
yes.
DNA, whatever.
Yes. Discovery. Yes. Yes.
Right, that's what he said.
Yeah. This is how we put all the pieces together. But this is a fact. Like, these are all facts, you guys. This is a conspiracy theory. It's fact.
The SV40,
yeah,
I believe, has never been removed.
No, it hasn't.
From all the vaccines on the planet.
Even the most current ones, you know what we're talking about? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's all in there too. It's all
what it does.
Yeah.
Turbo cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's seen so much of that in the last few years, obviously. The turbo cancers are off the charts. He's been
that's statistics. That's just not
that's statistics. The number of turbo cancers that he's seeing as a neurosurgeon as well, it's all documented. He makes every single person that comes to him for things like brain cancer and things like that for surgeries, he made every single person send their samples to this certain person in the I believe it's in the United States, that's testing all of these things for the SV40 and everything, and proving that it's
he tested.
Sorry, I'm gonna be right up front with you right now. My brain has been harmed by seizures and by, the impacts, the downstream effects of that has been that I don't have the recall that I used to have, like being able to recall all the little finer details about things. I used to be like this was like a steel trap before, and it's really struggling right now. So I apologize if sometimes I'll start to say something and Kevin corrects me. This is what he's good for, because
yay, one thing. I've been accepted on one thing.
Because
Excellent.
I admit that I'm still working on getting all of that back. So forgive me if like sometimes I'll get a little excited, but my details might not be completely correct. So I'm just being upfront with you about that. So anyway, yeah. So you can continue, dear. I'm just seeing what Marianne's saying here.
They took an expired vaccine vial from 40 years ago and tested it, and sure enough, SV40.
Yeah. And the thing is they knew this back in the 50s. The man who actually did this, he did this to his own. It's not funny.
No. So the polio vaccine story, right? He gets into it, and we don't want to here anyway, but
it's so interesting, you guys. Oh my God, it's so interesting.
He injected his own kids and grandkids with this stuff in front of an audience,
and in 7 days, one of his grandchildren,
10 days, one of them dropped dead.
Died. Yep, his own grandchild.
Yeah, dropped dead.
And he didn't do it unknowingly. Like, this man he must have been like psychopath. Yeah, he was lacking in empathy.
No, but guess what? Other psychopaths learn what other psychopaths do, and they just continue the narrative.
They've
continued the bullshit. So
yeah.
Right.
So they intentionally, back in the 50s, they intentionally gave 300 million.
No, 300.
Yes, it was 300 million around the world cancer through the polio vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean they all got cancer right away, because this has long-term effects as well. But they intentionally did it. And they knew then that it was causing cancer, and they didn't resolve it. They carried it on.
The cancer industry.
Yes, they did.
With that event.
They absolutely did. And they continue it today. They continue it today, you guys. And this is a problem. Like, he has seen people come in with turbo cancer. They're dead in like 5 days. Like, no joke. Like, it's brutal. It's brutal. And he talks a lot about Susan, the one of the former CEOs of YouTube. So being a billionaire didn't help her any, because she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
She's dead. She took the jabs, he said.
Turbo cancer, boom,
done. She's dead. Right. So there are those.
It's a very, very good interview.
Very good interview. Oh my God. And you're right, Marianne. They are trying to normalize heart conditions, because if they can normalize it and also blame it, right, on other things, then it takes the pressure off of them. Right. Yeah. And if we normalize these things, then people won't question it.
So
right?
think about this very carefully.
Yeah.
If we have a system, and within that system are other people in the system.
Yeah.
And our very existence, right, living and breathing on this friggin' planet, is a problem. What level of rejection does humanity experience energetically now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we actually,
just for being alive,
just for being alive. And that's why you've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, and if you haven't, there was, I don't know, one of these obsoletes ended up saying they're just useless eaters.
Yeah.
Useless eaters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of things, and this is heavy shit club material.
Yeah.
Right. For sure. Where we can go back and deal with the energetic signature that this sort of meme has sort of come with us through time.
Well, it is heavy shit. And I think Marianne, what she just said there is heavy shit, right? She's saying, my understanding is that childhood vaccines are not approved also, and they aren't. I so regret giving them to my kids when they were young, but honestly wasn't awake then. Hello, me too. It took my little baby boy, William, oh, my heart, my little baby boy getting such severe gut problems as the little baby.
Yeah, Lori vaping. Yeah.
That made me start to question things. And I was just a young mom. I was only 21, 22 years old. Like, I didn't have a damn clue what I was doing. And so when I started having him crying and crying, oh, my heart, when I think about it, he just cried and cried and cried. And I couldn't find any solutions. And we were early in the days of the internet. So finding information online was tough. I had to go look at the library and look at books. And I had to start asking questions of my doctor, right? Our family doctor, who was a great guy, he was just not informed, right? So I made the choice back then. I mean, my kids are 28 and 27 now, but I made the choice back then when William was a baby to not give my kids any more vaccines. I was like, no, I connected it. There was something in my mama's intuition that said
Let's
it's from
call
those
them injections, because that's what
that's
are.
really they are. They aren't vaccines.
Yeah.
Vaccines are supposed to have a heal, a real helpful. Their definition is that they're supposed to actually help people, but they don't.
So Lori made a comment.
So I get it
about the vaping, and
Yeah.
and yes, bottom line is,
Yeah.
here's the interesting thing about this entire scenario, is that the obsoletes,
Yeah.
create scenarios where it would appear as though it would be our choices that are causing
Yes.
problem A, B, or C.
Yeah.
And then they're able to take that and spin it in order to say, well, it's because of what you're doing. Think about the climate change crap.
Yeah.
Right? Think about that garbage.
It's all our fault.
What is it? Human caused climate change.
Yeah.
But no, it ain't.
Yeah.
Right? They vilify CO2, which means everything that we expel when we actually respirate, right, now puts us in we are the cause of that. Not to mention cows farting and whatever, right, etc. But you get the idea. So everything in society has been orchestrated as such, because they were losing money on cigarettes, so they needed an alternative.
Yeah.
Right? And then lo and behold, vapes show up. What a great solution.
Yeah.
What a great solution. And it's still it's then masking, right? We're trying to normalize heart disease, myocarditis, and cancers and all this other stuff. We're trying to normalize it.
Yeah.
By just without coming out and saying what the real problem is. And the real problem is the obsoletes in the military industrial complex. 100%.
Yeah. And the reason that we mention this as heavy shit, because it's heavy shit on our emotional selves, right? Because it is. I mean, Marianne, you're right. I mean, if we look back on our lives, we think, oh man, if we'd known then what we know now, right? We would have done things differently. We would have made better decisions. We wouldn't have ever put shots in our little babies. We never, ever would have done it if we had known the truth. But that's the problem, is we're not told the truth, right? And all these things we're talking about right now, they're all part of the problem.
All connected.
They're all connected. And the one thing they don't want us to be talking about, because you know what, like, they can understand, they can let a little bit of a bad talk about jabs and stuff, and bad talk about, different things like maybe agricultural chemicals, like the and GMOs, and it's almost like they allow certain amount of talk against these things. But the one thing that is like a absolute what's the word I'm looking for, that is like an absolute win for them, that they don't want us recognizing, is the invisible stuff around us that we aren't even aware of, because we can't see it. Some of us can feel it, but most people aren't aware that they're feeling it, right? Which is the electromagnetic frequencies that are around us all the time, and have been for decades and decades and decades. And they just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And like Kevin said, the standards have just
600 to 1,000.
The allowable standards, right? And those standards, by the way, are not the same in other countries. That's the
But those
that's
standards
mostly over
are
here.
arrived at
It's mostly
because
over here.
government, quote unquote,
Yeah.
doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
So they rely on the very industry
Yeah.
that is producing said microwaves
Yeah.
in order to tell the government so that the government can change the laws,
Yeah.
right? Or the guidelines, blah, blah, blah. So we're into the fox garden, the hen house scenario here, folks.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And it's true, Marianne, we can't beat ourselves up about what we have or have not done in the past.
No, that's we can't do that.
We need to not be focused on the past. The reason the past is important is because we have to know our true history. We have to know the truth, right? Very important to know the past in order to know what the real truth is. But then once we know, then we need to come to present moment, right? This is the way we function, right? We need to come to the present moment, and then we need to make decisions based on what is now and into the future, right? Because if we stay emotionally stuck, that's the big thing. Get the information, have the knowledge and the wisdom, right, to know different and do different, right? But we need to just not stay stuck in the emotional piece of how we contributed to all these things going forward, because we did.
Mm-hmm.
We're all guilty of having, allowed these things to happen. But we were not properly informed. We were intentionally lied to, right? So
when they own the information,
yeah,
they can bend it all they want.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's true, Marianne. The EMFs are horrible from the 5G towers, but here's the thing. They've been around long before the 5G towers.
For a long time.
It's been around. It's
not
been,
just that.
No. The 5G towers, honestly, it's almost like the 5G conversation. I kind of feel like, honestly, it's a bit of a distraction because it's actually taking away from the fact that this shit's been around for decades and decades and decades. And
people resisted 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, etc.
Yeah.
The whole time because,
and they weren't listening. They didn't care because they don't care about
all they care about is
human wellness. They don't care about any of that. Right?
I provided Thunder Bay Telephone.
Yeah.
And the city of Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
11,000 pages in 22 volumes of documented study evidence put out by the Children's Health Defense.
Yeah.
Right? In their fucking lawsuit against the FDA regarding EMFs.
This was 3 years ago, wasn't it?
I provided this to them.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys better judge yourselves accordingly.
They didn't care.
Right? What do? They draft a nice little PDF.
Yeah.
And they greenwash it and whitewash it and safety wash it. Safety is of utmost concern and top of our list. And we're just going to follow the guidelines and blah, 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 blah. No one can just do better, right?
And we're just going to keep enjoying being a billion-dollar company here in Northwestern Ontario and taking in our big paychecks and not being real concerned about whether or not what we've done all these years maybe
That's right, Marianne. SMART. You know what SMART stands for? Take a guess.
Yeah.
Take a guess what SMART stands for. Yep.
Everything smart is bad.
Secret military armament in residential technology.
Yeah.
SMART.
Wonder why there's secret military armament in residential technology. Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
Why don't we have, you know what I really want?
What do you want, Kevin?
Tell
us what you want.
When I get a garage.
Yeah.
Right?
Eventually, someday.
When I get a garage.
We're working on it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a smart garage door opener.
Oh, yes.
I am.
Yes.
Right? So
that's
that
jab,
when I'm on the other side of town,
that's a jab.
I can go on my smart garage door opening app and open my fucking garage door.
Not really sure why, but
instead of like walking up to the door and like pressing the button because I need it open.
Or you hit the remote thing when you're coming close.
Yeah. Or you just have the thing on your visor or whatever.
Isn't
and you just go
boop. Yeah. Yeah. Kevin. It's true though. And
I need
Here we go.
I need
Kevin's on a tear now, so here
to be able to go on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Yet another control mechanism. Sorry, people, but it is.
Yeah, it is.
Control mechanism, little screen,
Oh,
go on my lap and turn my garage lights on and off.
yeah. For what purpose? Really?
Right? Have we all seen the movie WALL-E?
Yeah.
Have we all seen that?
See,
Yeah.
the thing
If you
is,
haven't,
guys, you better watch it. It's a silly cartoon, but it actually has some pretty powerful messaging in it. I mean, if what you don't use, you lose. Okay. I want you to think about somebody who has a tragic car accident, all right, and they end up having their spinal cord severed and become paralyzed. What happens to their legs? They shrink up, right? They lose their muscle and everything, and they just become basically skin over bones oftentimes, right? Because they're not being used anymore, right? So it's this exact same concept. If we don't use this, and I'm pointing to our brain, okay? If we aren't using our brain, and I mean our heart gets used anyway, but and I mean so does our brain. But I mean, if we aren't nurturing it, if we aren't cultivating this, these are organs in our body that need to be cultivated. They need to be used, okay? Critical thought is something that uses your brain, all right? It puts your brain to work. And if we aren't learning all the time, if we aren't questioning, if we aren't critically thinking, and we're letting some other outside authority do the thinking for us, then guess what, guys? Our brain is going to shrink. It is going to shrink. And trust me when I tell you, and I know this is a problem in the world, we all know this. Dementia has grown tremendously, right, in recent years. Alzheimer's off the charts in recent years, you know? And so, and I mean, that has a whole other component to it as well, beyond like use, right? But the reality is and because I have suffered from dementia, I experience it, I understand what it's like. I have this neurological condition called epilepsy, where I lose control over this,
but
right?
But
to have
is
seizures.
it a neurological condition?
Well, is it? I mean, this is where Kevin and I think a little differently about this stuff than I know. Really? It's considered a neuro condition, okay? Like just for general purposes, we're going to go there.
Here's the thing is that you can't catch it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's something that you cannot catch, contract. Yeah. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's something that occurs because of an imbalance somewhere in the body.
Something's off.
Something's off.
Something's off. And I mean, I have my theories about why it even started. And interestingly enough, it does tie into our conversation today.
Being
microwaved, okay? Because here's what happened. There was a plethora of things happening at the same time, but it was the perfect storm. One of them was I was doing more of a vegan plant-based diet. Okay. I had started doing that, right? Thinking I was being all ethical and this was the healthiest thing for me to do, you know, because I'm always searching. I'm always searching for the best health solutions. So back then, we're talking back in 2013, we had just come back from India and I started following a vegan diet. Now, what happens with the vegan diet? Oh dear, there's so many things that happen with the vegan diet. You totally enhance the oxalate levels coming into your body. Not good, by the way, at all. And the fats reduced unbelievably tremendously. I've reduced the fat consumption. Cutting out animal proteins and fats, not good for the human brain at all, or body, period, really. But anyway, so it was like the perfect storm. I was eating vegan, right? More plant-based. And I went back to college. And what was I doing in college? I went and studied media, broadcasting and television broadcasting and production. Okay. So yes, I studied that shit. Right.
And so guess what? You're sitting in 8 hours a day.
You're sitting in blue lights constantly, like you're sitting in
A microwave.
microwave situation. The college has antennas on it like crazy, and so I was always had headaches constantly had severe chronic headaches. And I'm in this environment of like the white lights, you know, like right now we have a couple and we have them way turned down because I don't like them, I hate them. But when I was at college, I was just pummeled every single day with these EMFs, pummeled. And eventually, after doing that for a year, I had my first seizure. Okay. Now,
And how many days?
I
into
was
a water
5
fast?
days into a water only fast as well. Okay.
So
Now,
what happens when you fast?
well, now I know better. Now I understand that when I'm water fasting, you're dumping all these oxalates so quickly that in itself can cause major harm and damage to your body. So, and you know, there's no electrolytes, and it's this perfect storm. Okay. So anyway, so that was my theory even back then. I was like, oh my god,
And yeah, you chalk it
was
up
too much.
like
It was
Marianne,
too much.
a childhood vaccine injury. Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely could be part of the issue.
totally.
The thing is, and here's the interesting thing about our scenario.
Can I just finish? Let me finish. Let me say one more thing about myself. I'll tell you this one thing about myself. The other thing, the other thing too, in my situation, that also created the perfect storm is I probably already had some kind of injury in my brain anyway, because I did fall out of a 2-story window and die when I was 3. Right. So yes, there was like this whole, like everything. And once you start putting all the pieces together, it's just like, oh my God, you know, and I've had to take full responsibility for this and realize I did this to myself. I did this to myself.
But here's the
a lot of it out of my control, unfortunately, but I did it to
here's
myself.
the thing.
Yeah.
This ties right back into the concept of rejection.
Yeah.
Because when we examine and we've gone back in our minds, in your mind, right, to that incident of falling out the window, there was a rejection component to that. Right. And then you layer in the societal rejection by the obsoletes, right? And that entire programming, you know, we're not worthy, etc. We're just useless eaters.
Yeah.
And like everything, literally everything, chemtrailing.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
You know, they spray here constantly.
Yeah. The chemtrails are just brutal here.
It's terrible.
They really are. Yeah.
So it's getting into our food supply, or it's in our food supply. Yeah. It's in our water supply.
It's in our
lungs.
In our air. It's in our air. It's in our lungs, right?
So there isn't anything that
it's filled with nanoparticles too, which, by the way, you guys, I mean, I know we're going there, but all those nanoparticles, guess what? That's all, what's the word I'm looking for, Kevin? It all enhances all the EMFs that are coming into our body. It makes you an antenna, right? For all of that shit, right? So, I mean, this is the reality, you guys, and we're not saying all these things because we want to, you know, we're not trying to scare you, okay? We really aren't. It's not about that. This isn't new information for us, but it's just, I think we got triggered last night by Dr. Cruz, because triggered in a good way, because it was like, oh my God, finally someone has not just been brave enough, but taken the freaking time to put all these pieces together. And by the way, the interview was 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he walked away from his career 6 weeks before and moved out of the country, of the US.
So Marianne mentioned fluoride, and you know, fluoride, we've known this for a long time. Fluoride is a neurotoxin.
It is a neurotoxin.
So here's an interesting story: is when we were in Moncton in 2009 and 2010, Moncton City Council was literally on the verge of considering fluoride in their water system.
After all those years, it's like, why would you bother? Like, seriously?
So yours truly,
we did
part of the depositions in front of City Council. Now,
rebels with a cause.
We had, or there, I didn't have, but there was part of this, the head of the Canadian Dental Association.
Yes.
Dr. whomever.
Yeah.
And of course, what are the tactics they're going to use? They're going to show little tiny PowerPoint, right, with pictures of really shitty teeth.
Yeah.
And say that this is a result of not having fluoride.
No.
Okay, so they're going to make this bullshit connection.
Yeah. And it's just not true.
And then you're going to have some country bumpkin guy show up that's 80 years old that hasn't had a cavity, and the dentist somewhere along the line told him, well, you're drinking well water that must have natural fluoride in it. So they're presenting all these things.
Yeah.
And then I get up there and I say, listen, folks, I said, you cannot tell me for 1 second, like I didn't use the neurotoxin language, and if I had known that officially back then, I said, you can't tell me for a second that water passing over someone's teeth
for the split second,
for the microsecond that it is going to benefit the teeth.
Oh my God.
And then ends up in the stomach where it's not needed or used or beneficial.
Yeah.
Right. So think about this.
Yeah.
Anyway, those efforts paid off.
Yeah.
And I
They
mean,
did
we were not
fluoride.
the only ones.
No, we weren't. There's a few of us.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
There was actually a lady there that was on I want to say social services or fixed income or something like that. And they were also trying to portray this the need to do this as a
for the
as
poor
a low
population.
income,
Yes, for the
right,
poor population
to help the low income people because they can't afford.
And there was
toothpaste
and I remember what's her name. There was a gal there who was part of that lower income population.
And
she
she
was a
says,
single
you know
mom.
what? I'm calling bullshit on that because I'm
like,
a single mom and I'm on a fixed income. Everything I eat and everything my child eats, organic, blah, blah, blah. I go to the markets.
She was great.
It was bang on the money. So
she was great. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, too, if you want to spend $100,000 a year, right, then buy everybody toothpaste and toothbrushes and just give them out at the
Well, they used to give them out at schools. I remember in elementary school getting toothbrush and toothpaste all the time, but the toothpaste always had fluoride in it. It was an education for the elementary school kids. But yeah,
so like our
teeth do not become, do not become porous or become, what's the word I'm looking for? Dear God, this is another issue. Yeah, that I'm dealing with. Yes, decayed because of a lack of fluoride. Right? They become decayed because of diet. Right? So let's just get that straight. Right? So, and I wouldn't even say it's from a lack of brushing of teeth. I would say,
but
it's
all
from
of
diet.
this, all of these layers, every single one of these layers.
Yeah.
And this is one thing we're going to do in the Heavy Shit Club is this rejection thing.
Yeah.
Because it needs to get dealt with.
But it's true because those of us who think differently, who think outside the box, okay.
What? There's people that do that.
Oh yeah. But those of us that do that, we tend to get rejected by society, but that's all by design as well. Right. And that's it. Dr. Jack Kruse talked about that so much last night. He brought all those pieces together too. How anybody, like even Dr. Robert Becker, okay, all these people who spoke out, right, who tried to get the truth out, they were shut down. Careers destroyed, reputations destroyed. Sometimes people were killed, right? And that's happened a lot. So, I mean, this is the way that they've dealt with it in the past, So that's a severe form of rejection right there for speaking truth, right?
See, but this is how
this
is how the system and the obsoletes love it because it's about creating these little examples. Yeah. Right? These little tiny examples.
Oh, yes, the red pills.
Yeah.
I remember those.
The little tiny examples in society of people that are going against the system that need to be examples for the rest of people to follow the system.
Yes.
But you know what? Here's the good thing about all of this is that
what is the good thing? There's a good thing.
These conversations are happening at exponential levels now.
They are. They totally are.
Right? Everything is now. If we are in the process of a shift in supporting biology and humanity, versus rejecting it. Yeah. So all of those forces, all of those things So we just need to keep on this path of truth,
Yes.
this path of
Even if
becoming
it
resilient.
hurts. You guys, that statement, the truth hurts, it's so true. Okay. It's true. It hurts, right? But once you get over the hurt, right, then you can get empowered with the truth, right? So, I mean, it's just so damn important. Denying the truth hurts worse, trust me, right?
Well, unless you're totally ignorant to it.
And yeah, but I mean, being in total denial of the truth and continuing on in your blind ignorance, that is not the answer, right? That is
According
not
to whom?
That is not better than knowing the truth, even if the truth hurts, right? Again, that's perception. I get it, but you know, we are at a stage now. Kevin and I feel this anyway. Like, please let us know if you feel the same way. But we are at a stage now where we feel like it is critical for us to be discussing these things with each other, right? And coming together, like Kevin said, everyone coming together with these common sort of goals of doing what is right for humanity to thrive on this planet as a whole, right? Like, we got to come together, you guys. We got to stop getting into this nitpicky, like, I believe this and you don't believe that, and who cares?
That's part of the program.
That is part of the program.
Keep us divided.
That's right.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Very effective strategy.
Yeah. And I mean, even on issues like the fluoride issue, right? It creates the people that are for fluoride and against fluoride. And it's like the jabs, right?
Was it a UFO that landed in New Mexico,
yeah,
Roswell, or was it a weather balloon?
Yeah. So, I mean, like the jabs, same thing, right? Those who are for the jabs and those who are against the jabs, you know? So it creates these two, totally divisive.
The rift is there.
Parties. So, and in the reality is here's the way we're all the same, you guys, besides we're all human, right? But the way we're all the same is that we're all victims of this programming. Okay. If we can acknowledge that we have all been victims of it, even the people that we look at out there, right, in the media, even like all these, like, I know there's been a lot of bad talk about P. Diddy, whatever. I don't know all the details because I honestly don't take the time to understand it because I don't give a shit. I don't care about who P. Diddy is or what he did. But I mean, if we even look at those people, right? If we look at the Hollywood actors and, the celebrities and all these people, Jack Cruz talked about this last night. The people who are at the head of these tech companies that are causing all this harm towards this planet and humanity, they've all been victims of the programming.
MK Ultra.
4
and 5.0.
Yes. They are
called
all
Operation Marshmallow.
Yes, this is facts, you guys.
Experiment.
They were all victims of it. So the thing is that we all have been victims of it to some extent.
And it's not to say that those people are going to turn. And maybe they will. Who knows?
They may.
But it doesn't matter.
They could.
Right, Lori? Like teamwork is where it's at.
That's right. I'm gonna put that up on the screen.
Teamwork's where it's at. We have to come together.
Yeah.
So this has been my main focus for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Is how do we do that? And I think one of my passion projects is a platform called the Union of Humanity.
Yes.
And the Union of Humanity is actually
this man taught himself how to build websites just to do this project, honestly.
So we're actually going to be sharing this on a radio station locally here today.
Yeah, we were asked to come
and then again next week in front of an audience. So
to be guests at a radio station today.
So it's a place where people can. I mean, we're just starting out, right?
Yeah.
We don't have like multiple millions, but we're going to.
Yeah.
But we need help to get
multiple millions of people. We need,
because a lot of people out there are frustrated with different platforms that they're currently on,
like the one you're watching this on right now, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're sick of censorship, they're sick of shadow banning, they're sick of AI, retyping things and whatever.
Yeah.
But so what I did was I created this kind of environment.
Yeah.
Where you can come in community, we can have respectful discussions.
Yep.
Right? Because we respect each other. We're showing up.
We can talk about the heavy shit.
We can talk about the heavy shit with no issues.
Yeah.
And we can
agree to disagree sometimes.
Right. But we can show up
Yep.
as a respectful human.
Yep.
Right. And bring our divinity to the table.
Yes.
So when we do that, we now have an environment that we can support each other in our own passions.
Yeah.
Right. So there's different layers to this platform.
Yeah, we'll do a talk on that specifically another time.
And maybe we'll record our thing this afternoon and next week's, and then we can share that with everybody.
Well, we'll definitely record the talk that we do next week. Yeah, we'll do that, and then that's something we can share online, and people can see that.
So if you want to have a look, it's very simple.
Yeah,
it's just theunionofhumanity.com, just as it sounds.
theunionofhumanity.com.
Go there.
Yeah.
Read the about us.
Yeah.
If it resonates with you, jump on board.
Well, Marianne, you're right. Okay. She's saying I have followed platforms that unfortunately went monetized. All these platforms are going to be monetized, my dear.
They're all right now.
They already are. The thing is what the way that they're monetized is with your data, right? But they're also asking people for money now, like YouTube, even Telegrams wants money. They all do. They all are asking for
I will address this right now.
Premium,
because we've had other people question it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we create something that's free, the reason that it's free is to entice someone, because everyone likes something for free.
Yep.
The cost to you.
Okay, and first of all, the way that they're free, Kevin, is because they've been well funded.
Okay. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah.
They have had multiple millions piled into them.
Oh, yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Because they're taking all your data. So that is the hidden cost.
That's right.
To you. It's no different than the EMF soup we're living in.
That's right.
Because you can't see it.
It's invisible.
It's invisible.
It appears to be one thing when it's really another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the cost to you to say you're on a free platform.
Yeah.
Our approach, different. I will be upfront.
Yeah.
This is a members only space.
Private.
This is private.
Only.
It's only for members. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have only asked a very small amount. It might equate to a couple of coffees a month.
That would be
at Starbucks.
Yeah.
But it's there because we need to create a baseline of I'm paying.
Yep.
I pay every month to be on my own friggin' platform. Right? Not only that, but I've paid to create the platform.
Yeah, well, it's all been our own money,
right?
And we don't have a lot of extra cash, you guys, given our circumstances.
We have to understand the difference here.
We're mission driven, though.
We're mission driven.
Yeah.
But why do you buy a Costco or Sam's Club membership? Why do you do that? People have no problem doing that.
$65 for a Costco membership
because they want to go in and they want to get larger quantities or some better prices.
They want the benefits that come from it.
Benefits that comes from being a Costco
member. Want to be part of the club.
Right? So no one has any problem doing that.
Yeah.
But they look at something like this online. So here's the bottom line. I have put together a set of services for members that would be, go and look it up.
Yeah.
Look at Udemy. Right?
Yeah.
You look at any marketplace, anything to promote, whatever, all of that stuff. Okay? Everything is there for people to be able to interact, exchange goods and services, everything, make money, all that stuff is there.
Yeah.
So check out the about, right? No pressure.
Yeah.
If it resonates, jump on board.
Yeah.
If not, that's fine. Maybe you know someone that it would resonate with.
Yeah.
But we have to, out of the gate, say everyone is on a member and we're paying to be there.
A donation to be there. And I get it. Like, I get it, Marianne. I do. Mm-hmm. We're not charging people for information in order to come on that platform. Okay.
Oh.
We are expecting a certain very small donation.
It's $9 a month. US.
Yeah. In order for people to be a part of the membership. okay, and have the benefits of all of the elements inside that platform that Kevin has put in there. It's tremendous, okay? Check it out first, but also let me just say this, okay? We would never deprive somebody from their ability to be a part of this who truly wants to be. We get it. There are people who don't have credit cards at their disposal. We were those people for many, many years, okay? Because we have lived without credit for the last almost 18 years, honestly. So we get it, all right? We would never deprive anybody who truly wanted to be a part of our community, but wasn't able to afford it. All we would say is reach out to us. Just reach out to us. Let us know. There are solutions for that. Okay. And also the money that we have brought in, or we are going to be bringing in from this, the use of the membership fees for the PMA and the use of this platform, that money is going to be going to humanitarian projects that are going to benefit.
I don't like humanitarian. I don't like that word at all.
What other word?
I know it's a frame of reference, but
what other word do you call it?
We're talking projects that have the largest and most beneficial effect on the planet and human biology and human existence. All right. I don't want to use humanitarian because that language has been co-opted.
Well, it has, and it has negative sort of connotations associated with it for some people. We get it. Sorry about that. I'll delete.
We have to consider our biosphere.
Yeah.
White Rich has been fucked with for decades and centuries.
Yeah.
So so this is what we have to consider.
So this is our mission. Okay, we can't talk about all that today. We don't have time.
No, we'll record what we're going to say today.
Yeah, we'll record it. Marianne and Lori, thank you very much for being open and honest with us about your situation. And what I would say is direct message me, and we have a solution for you. Okay, so you can be a part of the Union of Humanity, even if you can't afford it. Okay, or don't have a credit card to do it. Seriously, direct message me. There's no shame in that. Okay, absolutely no shame in that, because we are the people that have been the people who needed to have that kind of assistance in our lives as well. You know, so we understand, like we truly do. Yeah. We truly do. And so we're here to help. Okay. We're here to be of service as best we can. And so, you know, we're doing the best we can, right? Which is partly why we're doing this silly little coffee time, right? This is us trying to do the best we can. I think,
Lori, you need to you need to chat with Ava here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We're all about helping others find solutions too. So
we are, absolutely. And this is where our hearts are. Okay, this is where our hearts are. We know our hearts are in the right place, and so, you know, and we're open to ideas, you know. But
that reminds me, I have to do a feedback and suggestion section for the website. So.
But here's the thing too, guys. Okay, please keep in mind, we need to live too. Okay. And because of our circumstances where I have epilepsy and I can't have a full-time job.
Because we've been rejected everywhere.
We have been rejected. I've lost work as well, Lori. I've been put out of work because
or jobs have not been offered or taken away.
They have been taken away because of the I'm risk. A liability. Okay. Because I have seizures. So even though they don't happen often enough to really impact you know, working at a job daily, but still, people just don't want that. Employers don't want that generally. Okay. So because of that, and oh God, this is going to, okay, we'll take a few minutes to tell the story, but because of that, right, Kevin also is my caretaker. Okay. He is my caretaker and he takes great care of me, but in order for him to be able to be home with me to do that, he can't work. Right? He can't take on contracts. So that has been a real problem for us. We have been living on very, very little for a very long time. And now we need to do something different. We have very little bills to pay. We're very fortunate that way right now, but we have to eat too. You know, we have cell phone bills that allow us to be able to even do this show right now because we're dependent on our cell phones in order to have internet where we are, right? So, I mean, we have things we have to pay for. So, as much as we are extremely giving people, and we have given, oh my goodness, tens and tens of thousands of dollars of our own services away to people over the
And
years.
more.
And more. We
Out of
truly
our
have.
good nature.
Yeah, actually, we're into the hundreds of thousands now, aren't we? We have done that. That is a fact. That is the truth. And so, but it's,
And
but
wouldn't
here's
it
the
be
thing.
great? Wouldn't it be great?
It's been to our detriment.
Right,
That's
but
the
wouldn't it be
fact.
great if we could all do everything just because we wanted to?
I would
Right? And for
love
free.
that. I would love that.
But my whole thing is that we're
Yeah.
not out of these woods yet.
No, we aren't.
Okay, so we need
there yet.
something in place
Yeah.
for the transition, right?
Yeah.
Because I think most people would agree, or some people would agree. I mean, at the end of the day, there has to be some kind of a values exchange system, right? Or mechanism.
Yeah.
And in the old days, it was like, I got a loaf of bread and I need my, or 10 loaves of bread and I need new shoes for my horse.
So you could do a swap.
So you could do this swap. But
yeah.
The issue with this
Yeah.
is that you have to be able to need the item that the person is offering. Case in point, we have an engine block down sitting in the driveway.
Yeah.
Put it up on Facebook Marketplace. Someone reaches out. Are you willing to barter? Yeah, for sure. No problem.
Yeah.
What do you got? I got a ATV type 3-wheeler and I got a dirt bike. Well, we don't need either one of those.
Yeah.
But thank you for asking.
And it turns out he was a 14-year-old
kid.
I'm like, you are on to something good. Like you are.
But this is why we need some kind of values exchange.
We do.
Mechanism so that.
Yeah.
I mean, another case in point is doing renovation jobs for someone that thought they were an artist. Yeah. Came time to pay the bill. Would you accept this painting or this sketch or drawing? Yeah. It's valued at X dollars, which is it's out of the ether value.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I can't take that as payment to go and pay
my mortgage,
or I can't pay my bill at the hardware store for the material I used and had to buy for your job. So right, it works that way. So we are not out of the woods, and we need to come together in large numbers with a common goal of bringing back the dignity that has been stripped from us.
Yep.
Bring our divinity to the table.
Yep.
And work on that premise.
Yes.
Right? We are all, and come together at that level. And when we come together at that level, then we can make the change.
It's probably going to require us to get off our asses, to be quite honest. Get out from behind our computer or away from our computers. Now, that said, I mean, obviously the computer is the way that we're connected right now, and we appreciate that. We're grateful for that connection.
But it's the technology that's going to be their detriment.
Yeah. So our connectability right now is free, okay? As much as we know it isn't, but let's just say it is. Our connectability has been done, okay? We have this connection now. We're sharing information, right? So now we have to get to a place where we ask ourselves the question, well, what are we going to do with it, right? We have all this great information. We know the truth, right? And we're committed to that truth, but now what? Now what do we do? Right. And this is where I think that we need to get really creative. This is where the unionofhumanity.com, we believe, is going to come in handy, because those of us who want to speak openly about these things together and want to come together and want to get creative and want to come up with solutions and want to start taking action, we can gather there. I don't trust this FB book right now. Like, I really don't. Okay. I'd like to work my way off of it. I'm going to, right. I'm going to take time to do it because I have a lot of connections over this platform, and that's where they get you. We've been on this platform for so many years that it's really hard to just leave it. Right. But anyway, we want to be someplace where we can speak freely, where we can coordinate, and we can create and we can be productive, together to make a difference on this planet. And so that's really why we are encouraging people to go over there, because it looks like your website's down. You guys are great.
Well, check it out. I'm going to look at it right now and
Yeah.
see, right? And I'll tell you.
Well, just keep in mind, I mean, this is Kevin. This is all Kevin.
Everything me.
Yeah.
I did it all.
So when there is tech issues, it's Kevin that has to take care of it. We don't have a team or anything.
Looks like it's live to me. I'm seeing
I think it might depend on what browser people use or things.
I've checked it on everyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting, eh?
So what you should see at the landing page is the right side's gray with the login information.
Yeah.
And then the left side
we're logged in. Maybe that's why we're seeing that.
I don't know. Let's try it.
Log out and see what happens.
No. We'll do this.
Huh.
And we'll do this. Okay, one more test here.
All right, then. See, it's not even on there.
That's right. It's not supposed to be.
No, it's not. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing we need. We need people to let us know when these things happen if they try to go there so that we can do something about it.
Okay, so I'm in a private window right now, so there's no cookies, there's no cache, there's nothing here. So let's try it.
And we also understand too that as they get wind of what we're doing,
it shows up.
They might try to take it down as well, and we get that. Like that's all a possibility. Keep trying is what we can say.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? You keep trying, you refresh, or you try a new tab without being in the cookies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a techie person, but yeah, like. That's right, Marianne. I don't trust the government. I can't imagine why. But anyway, yeah. So, but that's what we've done. We have created that platform so that people can come over there and we can all start getting really creative because we need to create something new. I'm not interested in like we did the rallies years ago. We were the ones at the front of the
and on the front page of the friggin' paper.
Front page of the paper, getting the fines and the whole bit. For bringing people together when we weren't supposed to be. But anyway, we've done those things, right? We don't believe fighting against what is necessarily going to be the answer at this point. At this point, we believe it's going to be about creating something new, right? Creating something.
So what
else?
What if?
Right. So
what if?
Yeah.
We all got together in one spot and created something new.
Yeah.
There's talk out there now.
Yeah.
That society is going to bifurcate. And there's going to be the techno people that want the
technocratic.
They want the
life to be simple with a chip in their brain.
Well, they think so, right?
They think so. Yeah.
They want to have everything tech.
Yeah.
Right. So they can open their garage door from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Oh, Kevin, stop!
Right,
oh, Lord. And then the other
side is going to be. I believe there needs to be a balance for us because we've grown up without technology, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And now we're into tech.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that
we're
there's
leveraging technology.
There's a place for it 100% to make some elements of our lives.
Like it doesn't
easier.
have to be either or, right? It's you're right, Lori. It's not tech, it's lazy. It's so true.
But think about this. Every time that we had conversations with the kids years ago, is that this is a tool. It's no different than a carpenter using a saw or a hammer to build something, right? It's just a tool. When we look at it as a crutch, and our entire existence is dependent on that, then it changes the game.
It does.
Right? And I'm not saying that there's not reasons for people to be dependent on tech, because certainly there's definitely scenarios.
Yeah.
And we have to, Marianne, perfect. The more we fight amongst ourselves,
the less
energy we have to be aware of the crap
and to fight and to stop
and do something different. So I want to be part of the creation side of things,
the solutions.
Right? Let's create something different. And that was my driving factor behind creating this platform.
Yeah.
is to create something new.
And
the premise, my intention 100% with this platform is that the services offered within the platform will always go up. They will always increase. They will never decrease. And the monthly donation, the contribution of our members will never increase either.
That's the intention. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because here's what I've discovered, certainly discovered building this stuff, is they have a free version of that plugin, right? That would be a great feature on the site or other sites I'm working on.
Yeah.
But it has that one little thing, right, that you really need. But now you have to pay for the pro version.
Yeah.
Or the pro version.
Mm-hmm.
So they've created this scenario where,
well, they give you a little bit.
They tantalize
you with it.
And then, oh, well, you need that. So then you need this.
Yeah.
Right. You got to now pay for it. So
long story short, what our intention is,
the upsell drives me crazy.
We want to be careful not to be buying into that paradigm. Okay. So that's why it's like,
even though we've had to buy some stuff,
it's the same for everyone. This is what it costs per month or per year. And it's not going to be less or more for anyone, except, like we said, if you just reach out, if you truly don't have a credit card or you can't afford it.
Platform. Now here's the other
we can do whatever the hell we want. So
the other cool thing and the intention down the road is once we have a certain level of members, then we're going to be creating a trust. And the trust is then going to become the financial vehicle for our projects. And the neat thing about the intention behind this trust is that everyone that's a member is going to become a beneficiary of the trust.
Okay, you're going into talking about all this stuff and we weren't supposed to do that right now.
Well, I mean, it's a passion project, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
Kevin wants to tell everyone about it.
Like, wow, like this, we have to, because this is something different.
It is different.
It's different.
Yeah, it is. And it has really, really great positive energy behind it because it has good intentions. It truly does have good intentions. And we wish that everything could be free in life, but like free financially, we mean in life, but it just doesn't work that way. So we have to be in reality. We're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods yet. And we have to be in reality, and we have to just, this is the way we need to do it. So yeah.
That's right. It's my baby.
That's right. It is his baby. He did create it. And he, like I said, he taught himself how to build websites in order to create this platform.
It's been a steep learning curve, shall I say.
Yeah.
And guess what I'm into now? Audio engineer editing and video editing as well.
Thank God.
So
because the technical piece to all that stuff is what I just go, my brain hurts. I do not enjoy it. It's not my,
but that's why we make a good team, right?
We do. You're the technical one.
It's kind of fun, actually, I think.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
It works. So, yeah.
So check it out. We'd love to see you there.
We'd love to see you there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this has been a great conversation. We started out talking about rejection, and then it became about microwaving, and then it's gone
now it's
all over the place. But
it's about unity.
It is about unity.
It's about coming together finally.
It really is.
Finally. Yeah. Humanity has to get its shit together.
Yeah.
Really fast.
But again, I'm going to reiterate this again because I can't, like, if there's anything we got to get through your heads, okay? We got to get this into your heads. We are all equally humans who have been, what's the word? Victimized.
We've all experienced
trauma
from the shenanigans.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way.
We've all been victims of their intentional programming of our minds. Okay.
Shenanigans.
And yes, they've done it through media. Television was part of the whole thing. Radio, all these frequencies that they're putting out. It's all a part of it, you guys.
Secondary education.
Yeah. Yeah.
all part of the plan.
It's all part of it. So we've all been victims of it. So if we can all just kind of have that baseline acceptance of, yeah, you know what? We've all equally been victims. Have we all responded the same way to that? That propaganda and that mind control and that indoctrinations. No, we haven't all responded the same. And we're all at different places in our own awareness and our own, coming to Jesus moments, as Dr. Cruz put it last night. I love that. But yeah, we all have PTSD to a point. Yes. No, Kevin, no, you're not going there. No,
I gotta go there.
No, you're not.
I have
No,
to.
this has been long enough, Kevin. We're way over our time here. We've got to stop. Like, we could just talk. Obviously, you guys can see we could just talk and talk and talk and talk.
The only thing I'm going to say, Marianne.
Oh, here we go.
The only thing I'm going to say, because we're working on another little project called the Heavy Shit, literally the Heavy Shit Club.
Yeah.
Right, where we actually delve deep into all of this programming stuff and this sort of the things that could be holding all of us back.
Well,
right?
see, a lot of people here, just wait, a lot of people here probably don't even know, though, Kevin, that we work with the mind. Right? Well, that's what we're trained in. That's what we do together. That's what we
help people
get to
where their shit is and clear it away.
We do.
Basically. But I will say the one thing I want to say about post-traumatic stress is I think we need to change the discussion. The conversation around this has to change. Okay? Yeah. And the first subject of this conversation is to drop the D.
Yeah.
Take the D off the end. Okay? Because it's the system that puts the D on.
And that makes you a disempowered victim.
Right? There's two elements to this.
It does.
Take the D off the end.
Yes.
It's an experience that I'm having in the now based on something that was traumatic in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's call it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I'm going to encourage people to do.
Because the other thing too about the D is the D allows the medical system to drug you. It's the D that makes them
everything.
Allowed
the
to
D
drug
is
you.
the D.
To write that prescription, right?
The D.
For that.
The other thing I'm going to encourage people to do if they are experiencing post-traumatic stress, if you have ever had any conversations with people at parties and family gatherings and whatever, is to drop the my that most people voluntarily throw on the beginning of all of that discussion.
My depression.
My depression. My anxiety.
PTSD.
My PTSD.
Yeah. We own it.
You're doing that. The system's doing the D.
Yeah.
Right? So get rid of that conversation in your head.
Yeah. Delete it. If you hear yourself say it, go delete. Right away. Just say delete.
That's right.
Right? Do it. Just say delete in your mind. Like literally.
Because as soon as you put the my on,
yeah,
it's yours and you've owned it.
Yeah.
And it's just now part of you. So it's like saying my nose.
Well, and that's why people, not everybody is best suited to be working with us. Because we are the kinds of people who kind of go for the jugular. We don't waste time. And we are the kinds of people too who are going to call it out. So listen, when I say we're all victims, I'm not saying, okay, we're all victims, so let's play the victims and let's stay victims. No, what I'm saying is let's acknowledge that we have all been victimized, and we've all been victimized by this system that we live in.
And rejected,
right?
Many
Which is
levels.
the form of victimization. But we've all been victimized, okay? Let's acknowledge it right now. Okay, we've all been victimized, okay? Now what?
What do we do instead?
Are we going to stay in that victimization mentality, which is extremely low frequency, by the way,
and toxic,
but it's also extremely disempowering, right? If we stay in a victimization mindset, we cannot stand in our power, right? In any situation against these perceived authorities, right? That we are going to need to be. We need to stop playing the victim. That's right, Lori. Absolutely. I'm going to put that on the screen. We need to stop being the victims here. Okay. We need to acknowledge it though. First, we need to acknowledge it. That's so important. Acknowledgement is key here. Let's acknowledge it. Let's acknowledge it. We've been victims.
Step 2, get rid of the my and the D.
Yeah, like stop claiming it. Secondly, let's move past the emotions that come from having been victimized. right? We need to transcend those emotions, because if we stay in those negative emotions, that also keeps us down, right? It keeps us down, keeps us low, keeps us disempowered.
Why the divisiveness
Yeah.
of the scenarios that have been created
Works.
around us, it works so well because
Yeah.
it keeps us in anger.
Yeah.
Right? And hate and all that sort of, all of those emotions that are at the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And it keeps us suppressed.
Yes.
So that's a completely other discussion.
Oh my God. Like, here we go. Like, we could just, seriously, we could just go on and on and on. But
look for that too. I mean, we're going to be busting out the Heavy Shit Club.
Well, we're going to be like,
I'm working on it right now.
This is what we've decided, is that we need to get ourselves out there more. We do have a lot of value to offer. I've held myself back for the last few years because of my condition. I just said my condition, right? Which for a long time, honestly, I resisted even admitting that I had that. Like, it was very difficult for me to even say I have epilepsy or I'm epileptic. And I don't even like the title, to be honest with you. But whatever, I've owned it in the sense that it's a frame of reference, right? And people understand when you say epilepsy. If you start saying, oh, well, I have seizures or seizure disorder, it's like, huh?
I experience
what's that?
Seizures.
Yeah. So I'm clear in my mind. And that's the key here, is that I'm clear in my mind that I don't own I'm an epileptic. I just have to use that language when I'm putting myself out there publicly so that people understand where it's at. Okay. So, but I'm clear in myself, like, I don't own that shit. Okay. Like, I really don't. But yeah, so I mean, there's so many, there's definitely healthier ways than meds. Oh my God, for sure.
Again, that's another topic.
That's a whole program. Like, that's a whole program. But anyway, so I think we need to stop now.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's good for the day.
It's been a great conversation. Thank you, Lori and Marianne in particular, because you piped in and shared with us, because we love that. Like, this is the way we want this conversation to go. Our coffee times, okay? Our coffee times are not just for us to be sitting here and
we do this regardless.
Anyway. We do this anyway. This is
today, we just have to put
this is what we do every morning.
Put the camera on it.
Yeah. So I mean, this is what we do, but we wanted to engage more people in that conversation, in the conversations that in the topics that we want to talk about, right? That we know are important.
Super important.
We know they're important. Like, hell yes, they're important, right? So thank you for being here. We appreciate all of you who do chime in, because
I'd love to see you on the Union of Humanity.
Yes, absolutely.
Love to see you there.
Absolutely.
I think you will be quite surprised.
Yeah, there's a lot to offer. Mm-hmm. So that's that. And is there anything else?
No.
And just remember, you are being microwaved. So you might want to be looking for any kind of solutions for mitigating all of that. And there are solutions out there. And yes, these are things that I have been aware of for a very, 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 very long time. And we do have some of those devices, but we're going to ramp up our game too, because the blue light is so unbelievably harmful to human biology. We need to do better. We actually do need to do better. And I'm always looking for ways for us to do better. So we're going to start ramping up our game too. So I will make suggestions, and I will share some stuff with you guys. As I learn more, you will learn more, because I'll share it with you as well. That's just, sharing is caring. That's what we do. I agree, Lori. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. And again, we thank all of you for being here. And we
chin up, head down, hair straight back. Yeah. Let's get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay in a high vibe. The highest vibe you could stay in, which is love.
There's a brilliant meditation out there right now.
Here we go again.
By
Kevin.
Joe Dispenza. We'll put the link somewhere. We'll find it and put it out. It's really, really good.
YouTube. It's all easy to find. Yeah. It's easy to find.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Totally. So yeah, which we have to go do right now, actually, because we haven't done our meditation yet this morning. Yeah. So we're going to go do our meditation.
After I go and see whether the truck will start.
Oh, dear Lord. Don't even. So yes, so we're going to be on this radio show at 1:00 today. So
we will record it.
Yeah, we'll try to record it. We'll see if we can get a decent recording of it, because they don't record it apparently. It's all live, and we'll share it on here I don't know, when we were after
When
we
we can.
get back.
Mhm.
Yeah. So again, thank you everyone for chiming in. We appreciate you. We truly, truly do.
Thanks for everyone that's
We're-
watching and
yeah.
who's going to watch.
Yeah, and share it around. Like it if you like it. Please comment. We want your comments. We want your feedback. And we're just getting started here.
That's right.
We're just getting started.
The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. So,
But it's
have a
pretty
great
good
day.
starting right now.
It is good. Have a great weekend, by the way, you guys. And cheers. Bye.